You threw 121, you threw 114, huh? What do I have you at?
I thought it was 110.
I got you at 112.
No. Damn, I thought it was lower than that. I was going to argue for the 8th.
Honestly, I had thought about in that inning prior
Yeah.
to get you up to 135 if I needed to.
Yeah.
But we also, I remembered that we actually have a really good bullpen. Sure.
Awesome. Well, Coach, congrats on the win.
Thank you.
If you want to start off by introducing yourself and the players next to you.
Sure. Walter White, the head baseball coach for Cal State Monterey Bay. Got Javi Felix, our second baseman, and Nate Rolacek, our starting pitcher.
Awesome. Obviously, you want to win. That's
You think?
no doubt. But I think with the uniqueness of the bracket, winning your first game sets you up nicely for the rest of the weekend. On top of that, your starter goes 7 innings. How important was it for Nate to throw 7 effective innings?
Yeah, I think one, he's done that down the stretch here for the last 3 years. I mean, typically I baby our pitchers early in the year. You know, Nate probably wasn't super happy with me taking him out after 4 or 5 at week 3, 4, and 5. But the whole plan is to be able to do this and be able to extend him. 114 pitches, probably the most anyone's gone in all year for us. But for him to get depth into the game, you know, just gives us an opportunity down the stretch here. And winning the first game in any tournament you play is always key. I think it sets the stage for what you're going to do in the next few days. But the most important game is tomorrow or the next one. So excited to play Westmont. I think it's the 2 best teams in the West region are going to play each other tomorrow. So let's see what happens.
And how crucial was it to get out to that 3-0 lead at the end of the first inning, if you want to answer afterwards as well?
Yeah, I think, you know, that kid's been pretty tough on most of our league, Nathan Shin, but, you know, he's thrown a lot of pitches over the last couple weeks too, and we've seen him a bunch. And for us to be able to jump on him for 3 in the first and then for Javi to be able to have an insurance run a little bit later, it sets the tone, and it really helps him as a starting pitcher as well to be able to go out there and settle in and know that, you know, it's easy to make mistakes in this ballpark too. That right center ballpark or right center porch is pretty short, so he made one mistake in the game and gave up a 2-run shot to Murillo. But you know, when you have a little cushion at the start, it gives you a little bit of leash to play with for sure.
Couldn't have said better.
Great answer. Nate, obviously your line at the end of the day is great.
Yeah.
How did you feel your stuff was?
Felt great. You know, felt like the breaking ball and fastball was playing well with each other, which against a team like that, a high contact, aggressive team is pretty important. Falling behind guys like that isn't going to go well. They're pretty good when it comes to being aggressive, especially if they're in a hitter's count. So getting ahead and just keeping the ball away from the barrel was working today, and it was good.
And there's no surprises between these two teams. I mean, I think we played each other, I don't know if it's 8 of the last 9 games or 7 of the last 8, and we're fortunate to be on top of most of those, but they've seen him a bunch, and they've seen him for 3 years. And so for him to pitch the way he pitched, and, you know, pretty impressive.
And you mentioned you guys have played each other pretty frequently recently. Something that I noticed was you guys only had 3 walks offensively. Was that, well, obviously 10 hits, you win the game 7 runs. Was that
I think it's credit to them. I mean, we're really patient and we're disciplined at the plate for the most part. I mean, we swung out of the zone a couple times, but you know, I think about, I mean, both teams were equal in terms of we both walked 3 times and both struck out 7 times. And typically I like to have our walks and our strikeouts even out, or obviously I'd like to have more walks than strikeouts. But I think it's just opening game of a tournament, you're getting the 2 teams' best arms. And so for us to grind out 10 hits, and a lot of those hits are with 2 strikes. A lot of them are base hits up the middle, which we preach a ton of middle approach. And, you know, we do have a lot of power within our lineup. I mean, it wasn't shown a ton except for, you know, Javi's blast to right, and it came at a perfect time for us.
And I can't remember, have you guys played here earlier this year?
No.
I was going to say, did you know that yours was going off the bat? It kind of seemed like it.
Yeah, after the first one that I kind of missed, and then I got that one all yeah.
And we were able to, you know, we took batting practice here yesterday, and we took batting practice this morning, and, you know, we also had an understanding coming in here that the ball flies out of the ballpark. Well, it wasn't flying during batting practice yesterday. It wasn't flying during batting practice today. I think the wind's coming in a little bit today, but we had anticipated a you know, you got to pitch well. You got to keep the ball down here, and if you're going to have an approach to get a ball at the ballpark, hitting the ball high and deep to right center is probably a good call.
Yeah.
So good job, man.
All right, fellas, thank you.
You got it. Right on. Go Otters. Good job.